lovely people, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing amazingly well, as I always do hope for you. In this video, in the next few minutes, I want to share some really useful tips with you regarding interviews. I'm hoping that you either had already given few interviews or you probably are about to give one. In either case, this video is important for you. So without wasting any more time, let's get back to our task. So the first thing is always check the connectivity of your internet. I know it is almost like stating the obvious, but isn't it the small things that makes the most major of differences? If you have good internet connection and if your video or audio is not getting interrupted in the process, I think it is really going to get you those much required brownie points from your interviewer. So always make sure that you are checking your internet connectivity before you sign up for the interview. You can simply type speed test in the Google taskbar, and you can actually check whether your internet connection is fast enough, and then you can proceed with the interview accordingly. The second tip that I wish to give you is that you always have to make sure that you are sitting in a quiet environment. One thing that most people often miss doing is that they don't inform their family members or their roommates that they are actually sitting for an interview. What happens is that while you are sitting for an interview, somebody calls you or somebody just starts banging at your door. And I guess even if your interviewer is kind and generous enough to ignore that, your mental landscape has already been shaken. Now your attention has totally been deviated, and I know that it is really difficult to get back to the task once you have been deviated. So it's important that you let your family members know that you are sitting for an interview and they are supposed to keep shh while you are up to that. Okay. The third important pointer is that it is recommended, although not absolutely necessary, that you should keep your videos open. I know that some interviewers are quite chillaxed and they are like, okay, you can just continue with the audio mode, but I would still recommend you that if possible, try to keep your videos open. Why do we need to do that? Because when you keep your videos open, the interviewer can see your facial expressions, and I think as they say in English, that a picture speaks 1,000 words. So the interviewer can actually see the kind of confidence that you're exhibiting, and it is something which is very pleasant. So that is tip number 3. The tip number 4 is again important, which is you should always try to write a thank you email after the interview has been conducted. Okay, most of the time we fail to do that. By writing a thank you email and asking politely for the feedback in the process, the interviewer gets to know that you are a serious candidate and you are not somebody who is writing emails in 1,000 places, and you are not somebody who is giving 1,000 interviews in a day. Even if you are, you don't need to make that obvious. Okay, that is my tip number 4. Tip number 5, again, which is very important, is while you are sitting for an interview, make sure that you are sitting with a notepad or a pen and pencil with you. Okay, it kind of generates the seriousness that you are pretty serious about this interview and you are willing to take the pointers down if the interviewer is telling you certain things and if they give you some case study related questions. So you should be able to be prompt enough to find solutions. So if I'm an interviewer, I would be really glad if the candidate who is giving an interview is following all these 5 tips. So these are the quick 5 tips that I have given you. Okay, let me just try to quickly summarize that. This was the most difficult part for me as well, but let us try to do that. Okay, so the first part I told you was that check your internet connection. The second thing that I have told you is to sit in a quiet environment and tell your family that you are actually up to something really busy. The tip number 3 was always try to keep your video open. The fourth tip was write a thank you email and ask for the feedback politely. Fifth, last but not the least, is that you always have to keep a notepad, a diary, or a pen or pencil with you. If you follow these tips, I'm not actually promising you that you're going to get the job you're aiming at, but it will definitely generate a positive impression and you will come across as a very professional person. That's all from my end, guys. Do take care of yourselves, keep preparing for interviews, and do not give up even if the luck is not in your side for now, because I'm sure you will get it very soon. Okay, bye bye for now then, and I will come up with another video very soon.